we've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. It is Monday. It is December 19th, 2022. It is 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, wherever it is you are. And you're tuned into the Drive-In Speaker Box, the best in film. Wait, the best in film. Yeah, the best in film. I was about to say my old thing. Film scores, DVD news, movie reviews, and everything. And I forgot that it's not 2013 anymore. And we don't talk about DVD news, and we don't do film scores here on the show.
Even like Wally World, the disc section is minimal. Yeah.
So we're going to talk to you about movie shit, guys. So buckle up, like and subscribe. If you're having a good time, make sure you subscribe on wherever it is you watch it. Facebook, you can like. I think you can even monetize. Like, you can send us a stars or something, and we're signed up for that program. So if you're on Facebook, send us some stars. And Twitch, which you can subscribe to, which is really awesome. And then YouTube Live, which it's so hard to make money off YouTube, but it's there for you. And also, if you want to just get the audio version of this podcast, you can download those wherever you get your podcast. One of our viewers, shout outs to Furious Apology, hey, over there on Twitch. One of our viewers, Sam, he sent me he put it in our Discord, which if you're following in the chat live, you can check out our Discord there and chat with us all week long and all of our viewers. But he put a screenshot and he was just like digging in old school, and he was listening to episodes of the show from 2013. Holy crap. That's a long time ago. So yeah, there's plenty of Drive-In Speaker Box for you. And intros. I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
I'm Slick Doggy the Grip.
And yeah, it is the week before Christmas. And all through the studio, I've been so busy, I forgot to fucking decorate this entire place. Like, that usually have garland and stockings, one for me, one for Jake, and then I've got, I had to run around and I got my Krampus mask out and our Gremlins Advent. Remember last year, like every week in December, where you opened up like the Gremlins Advent calendar? And didn't we do like the year before that? We did a Christmas Story Advent calendar, and they had like the leg.
We did Gremlins first, and then
Christmas Story?
Christmas Story last year.
Yeah.
It seems like it was
only yesterday.
Yeah, not that long ago.
But we got our Turbo Man back here, and we got our Elf glass set, got our Christmas Gremlin up there. Like, I tried to scramble around as much referential Christmas crap as I could find. So, yay, Christmas specials. So there you go. I didn't see any movies this week because I'm super busy running a Christmas bar.
Because the only thing I wanted to see was the new Michael Jai White movie, but it was also it was like $13 to purchase it, and
you didn't.
I didn't. Yeah.
Jake.
Well, the only thing at the theater was Avatar. I looked at every local theater, and we had nothing.
No, it's all Avatar.
If I wanted to drive like all the way to Rogers, there was a few showings of The Fabelmans, but also that's 3 hours of Steven Spielberg.
Like every single movie
like,
right now is over 3 hours long, and like that's I hate that. Like, how am I supposed to factor that in? That's 17 hours of my day.
It was hard for me to find a reason to drive 45 minutes away to watch a 3-hour movie of Steven Spielberg being like, well, look at me. And then drive 45 minutes back. So
yeah, like, I'm sorry, guys.
That's 5 hours to
We
go
don't
on.
have any new movies to review. I'm going to see Avatar this weekend because my parents want to go see a Christmas movie, and we're going to go see
the
it.
First one. I don't want to just jump into the second
You
one. I haven't
don't-
seen the first
It's
one.
not like you're going to miss anything. It's
I mean,
like,
I know
we're
what
giant
happened,
and
right?
blue, and here's some white people that come
Yeah.
to save our people, and one of them falls in love with this tree that,
dude-
like, sticks a root up his tuchus, and he
Yeah.
becomes an Avatar too.
A dude whose legs don't work gets put into an avatar to trick the blue people into letting the invaders take their unobtainium, and then he ponytail sexes one of them and decides he wants to stay in the Avatar.
Yeah, which
All right.
I think
got it down. I didn't miss
the
it.
ponytail sex is what keeps everybody wanting to be.
But
in
that's
this
also how
Avatar.
they like ride their pterodactyls and things like that, right? They just
Well, they
like
have sex with them.
they hook up their ponytails
Hey, dude.
with the tendril with the
So what do you do with your ponytail?
not that.
I don't know. Is that why you always keep it up in a bun? Because you're afraid that it might like slip off and connect to something?
I promised the origin of Slick Doggy. I don't remember doing that.
I can tell you the origin of Slick Doggy.
I can.
Is Jake wanted a cool nickname for himself, and
That's not how it happened. No, we'll think about it throughout the episode. That should have been something we talked about in the pre episode bit, just for the Twitch streamers.
Oh yeah, bonus content. Yeah, on our Patreon that we never updated. I think we had like one subscriber on our Patreon, and he like
It was Vince.
no, it was I guess two because it was Jordan, and he never watched the show anyway. But he was just happy to support because you gotta love guys.
Maybe
like
we'll give a little tidbit at the end of the show just for the true fans there about the origin of Slick
the
Doggy.
tip of Slick Doggy. Anyway, what's going on in the news this week? This week was just mostly an anonymous viewer has gifted a sub.
Hey, hot
to
damn!
Radio Slick.
Thank you. Look at that. Vince says Disney Plus with their editing of all the movies, Star Wars and things like that. They have taken the ponytail linkage.
They took it out. They took out ponytail sex. Mm-hmm. That's what made it so popular. With all the furries and the cosplayers and the people that like to wear body paint and connect their tips. Like that's the Pandora they all want to
Hey,
get.
thanks, Vince. And congrats, Rich Bo.
Gifted like it's Christmas in here. All these gifted subs.
Rich Bo says great synopsis, and then Radio Slick says it's on the Blu-ray jacket.
It is what's on the Blu-ray jacket.
Yeah, we're just reading it right off. It's right. It's just
right there,
right here in front of us. Yeah.
But anyway, what happened in the news that we haven't talked about this week? Henry Cavill.
Oh, man.
This is relative. We only do this show once a week, so this is new to you guys. If you hadn't already seen it, what a raw deal, DC.
All the wood for everything. So Warner Brothers just totally screwed Superman here because they're like, hey man, come back over to DC. We're gonna bring back Superman.
You gotta quit Witcher though.
He's gonna be a big deal.
You gotta quit the
you're
coolest
not
thing you've
gonna
been
have
doing
time
in a
for
long
Witcher.
time.
It's like we know it's a passion project, and we know that you correct everyone on set because you love it so much, and you're really what makes that show, and the only reason it's a success. And you're going to forever be linked with that character alongside the voice actor that portrays him in the games that made it popular. Get rid of it. And he's like, I don't know. And they're like, what about money? And you're Superman first. And he's like, okay.
We got lots of money.
You got me. I was Superman first. Let's do it. And they're like, ooh, James Gunn decided no. And he was like, come again, what? Like less than 2 weeks? Like
After they've already recast Witcher.
Yeah, 2 weeks after they had him like announce that he was Superman because the Black Adam scene, they were just like, ooh, well, James Gunn wants him to be a younger guy, so you're out. James Gunn controls DC now. Tough luck, man.
Under the gun.
So he was scrapped from being Superman, taken away from his beloved The Witcher, but instead now, what was it, Amazon?
Well,
yes, Amazon just obtained the rights to be able to have 40K.
Oh, dude, if Henry Cavill rolls out as a Space Marine,
Yes.
I will watch a 40K
He's going to
show.
be either a Primarch or like the captain of the Space Marines.
No, I mean,
Imagine really good-looking Henry Cavill, but now he's a Space Marine, so he's not handsome anymore, but he's the biggest, most badass dude in the galaxy.
I would totally watch a 40K show.
Just tearing the heads
Like-
off of Tyranids and Chaos.
So for those of you guys that aren't huge,
Did you not know about this part?
Lame nerdos, Warhammer 40K has some of the thickest, most insane lore of any game. Like it's never been adapted to like a cartoon show or a movie because it's too freaking wild.
There's independent films like CGI animated films that are the titties. They are so cool. And the video games.
The video games are they're just bananas. I like the orcs are kind of my home. I love the orcs.
I meant to tell you, Necromunda is on sale for $4 right now.
Oh, $4.
Yeah.
I'll never have time to play it.
No
But
Space Marines in Necromunda, but
it doesn't
it
matter
is
to me.
$40K.
I'm into the orcs, the Wog all day. You know, those are my boys. Yeah, I think that if I would totally watch a 40K show.
Yeah.
I think that if done well, and you could have just seasons upon seasons upon seasons of a 40K show. You know, it could just never end.
Henry Cavill in Space Marine armor, yelling for the Emperor, charging in. I want him to be like, what's the game?
StarCraft?
No, man.
Because that's just a
40K,
ripoff.
bro.
Well, that's just a ripoff. StarCraft is just a ripoff of 40K.
There's a top-down game, and it's really cool. And you're like a priest. You're not one of the tech priests.
Oh, it was the one that didn't we play for like a hot minute on Xbox Live?
Yeah. You like make the heretics pay and suffer, whatever those guys are.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But,
Yeah.
Vince asks, Bo, have you tried Monkey Island yet? It's on sale on Steam. I've purchased it on Xbox Live, and I pre-ordered it, and I still haven't tried. I haven't had a chance to play it because I've been too busy. And sad story is I sat down once. I got to get home from work around midnight, which is really early for me. And I get home, and I'm like, oh, man, it's just, what am I going to do with all this extra time that I normally have in my evening that I'd be still working at the bar? And I'm like, I'm going to play Monkey Island when I get home. Yeah, hell yeah, this is going to be great. I'm going to put it, you know what, I'm not even going to do it on my computer. I'm going to go sit down, I'm going to buy it on Xbox, and so I can play it on my 80-inch TV with my surround sound and just like get immersed in Monkey Island, you know? And I sit down, and, you know, I'm ready for like, take me to the Caribbean, get me in there. And then as soon as I like get in there, I'm like, oh, bonus features. I'm looking at the bonus features, just like getting in it. And my dumbass next door neighbors get home right at that moment and start just blaring metal and having like a party and like smoking. And I can smell it through the freaking walls, and I can hear everything. And I can't think about getting lost on the beaches of the Caribbean and searching for the secrets of Monkey Island. I got mad and I turned it off.
Bummer.
I haven't had a chance to play. That was my that was my time. It was my time down there.
Well, Henry Cavill will be Space Marine, and that'll be more of your time. But hey, talking about video games that are loud and related to television in some way, this week for PC and Xbox, the new Justin Roiland game came out, High on Life. It's basically like a first-person Rick and Morty type thing. It's a lot of fun. I like it, but that's if you don't like Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland type stuff,
then you're probably going to hate it.
you might not be so into it. I mean, it's not Rick and Morty, but it is, you know. It's a lot of fun. It's out there. It's free on Game Pass. That's how I'm playing it. And what else?
I saw this was just kind of fun news. It doesn't have anything to do with anything except movies, but the original E.T. animatronic just sold at an auction for over $2.5 million.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
At that same auction, the 10 Commandments held by Charlton Heston were sold for $448,000, and Harry Potter.
I like how the 10 Commandments did not command the same price tag as E.T.
I mean, they're just stone tablets. That was like you're purchasing like a actual.
Yeah, but it's not like you can't control it from your iPhone. Like those old animatronics, it like took a team of 6 dudes like pulling levers and servos.
Yeah,
you know.
And then Harry Potter's Nimbus 2000 brought $128,000. Some of these,
that's it.
Yeah, well, some of these
Man,
there's probably
people
more
really
than
hate JK these days.
There's probably more than one of them out there, and it's one of those things where there's only one ET skeleton, right? There's probably a couple of copies of the 10 Commandments, or it's easy to make a copy.
Yeah, you could probably make one at home.
Yeah, and the Nimbus, same thing, you know. But there you go. Hey, you know what? Bad news for moviegoers.
Hey, Furious, thanks for the
such as
cheer.
yourself that enjoy some Bo's Bites. Consumer Reports did a test on 28 brands of dark chocolate. So if you like dark chocolate at all, and they found that every one of them had high heavy metal contents.
Heavy metal chocolate.
Not that. Lead and cadmium. So if you like dark chocolate candies at all, turns out not so healthy. So be careful when
What
going
I mean,
to
what
the
are you
movies.
getting your iron and your nickel in your diet? That's right? You know.
Yeah, but not lead.
Well, I mean, it didn't kill him back then. We used to use lead-based paint, and everybody turned out okay,
Except
right?
for people that ate it.
Why would you eat paint?
People do. You know what, dude? Talking about toxic things. Old Sarah Michelle Gellar did an interview recently, and she
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, she reinforced some of the things that came out about old Joss Whedon not long ago. That we talked about. Yeah, and
remember Joss?
She was like, "Oh yeah, when I was young, I worked on a set for a long time, and it was just the worst place on earth, and it was toxic as hell, and I hate everything about it." And you know, everyone's like, "I bet she's talking about Buffy." She's most likely talking about Buffy.
You know she was talking about
because
Buffy.
when all that stuff came out, last year before, something like that, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine with my name being forever attached to Buffy Summers or whatever, but I don't ever want it to be attached again to Joss Whedon."
Yeah, nobody likes Joss. I'm pretty sure we called that. Like, we were always kind of being like, Joss Whedon.
I've never liked him.
I mean, I think Firefly was the only thing I gave him a pass for, but past that,
No. Yeah, he took over some X-Men comics in like 2000 and made them awful.
yeah, we knew. We weren't those flip-floppers. We knew. We always know. I mean, if you go back, like, I'm pretty sure, I know Sam's not in the chat right now because I think he's traveling, but he is like our resident, like, knows more about our show than we do, and he would probably confirm that we've been calling it since way longer than I like to admit I've been doing this show. So there you go. Matt Ferry's over on Facebook saying he loves chocolate, but he'll get a zit. That's never good. Jake can't wait for J.J. Abrams to get Me Too'd, says Vince.
Fucking hate J.J. Abrams so much.
Yeah.
Except Cloverfield. The original Cloverfield movie was good. I liked it.
I liked the Cloverfield Lane. I thought that was a good movie.
I never watched it.
What?
It wasn't a monster movie. As soon as they stepped away from being like
John Goodman's
he's
the monster.
Yeah.
It's so good. Because John Goodman is like, he's good and he's bad and he's bad and he's good all at the same time. It's so good. It's kind of like his role in Ballin'. Like, I love that movie because it's just
I like it when John Goodman's a bad guy. Like in
Like
Oh Brother, We're
Roseanne?
Out There, where he's not the bad, where he grabs that toad and launches it at the tree. That traumatized me, man. I don't like that.
Man, John Goodman.
I mean, you know, I don't like the thriller movies. I don't like suspense.
I don't
and
like
thriller
scary
so much.
stuff, dude.
That's not true.
I grew up on some hardcore horror. What was it, Vince? My mom used to read me Goosebumps. Radio over on Twitch says Lane was better for sure. No motion sickness. Yeah, there's that one. The shaky cam.
It might have been Cloverfield, or there's one other I went and watched, and I was pretty close to the screen, and they had the motion sick notice up, and I did have to close my eyes for like just a second, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I think it was the first Bourne movie. I think it was the first one. And I mean, the theater was like sold out or whatever, and I had to sit like on the second row from the screen, and it was one of these big theaters, and I couldn't do it. I left because it was like, oh God, and I'm like right there, and
so I just remember it wasn't Cloverfield. It was the one where the dudes get like the superpowers with Michael B. Jordan and
the one with the cell phone.
Yeah.
That I thought was so stupid. Hey, thanks for the sub, Night Owl.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, it was the where I thought it was so stupid because it was all found footage, and then at the end there was like all these. He was like summoned all these cell phones to like surround him, and I'm like, just so they could get an angle. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and it had that like really angry, skinny looking Leonardo DiCaprio clone kid. He looks like Basketball Diaries Leonardo DiCaprio, but like malnourished.
What?
That's the connection in my brain. That's just the way it is.
It's the kid that played Green Goblin in the Andrew Garfield.
Yes, and he looks
He
like
doesn't look like
a
the
teenage.
I watched
Leo,
Growing Pains, bro. He doesn't look like.
but like with a
Leo.
cocaine habit, like because he's got those bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
Like if there was like, you know how like Superman had like Bizarro Superman.
Dane something.
Yeah, we don't memorize all their names. But yeah, like, you know how Bizarro Superman's like has the powers and all that stuff, but he's like, oh, but me stupid and dark colored. And like, yeah, that's the Bizarro Leonardo DiCaprio. To me, in my head, in my world.
Bizarro wouldn't say me stupid. If he was going to say you stupid, he'd say me I'm smart.
That's right, because he speaks.
But the rules don't. They're not.
They're very loose.
Yeah.
Because it's a stupid character.
I like Bizarro.
Well, you can like him. Doesn't mean he's not a stupid character.
That's true. I think most of the characters I like in things are stupid.
It's kind of like the alternate universe Star Trek stuff is super dumb, but it's also super awesome at the same time.
Talking about like evil Terran Empire, like Mirrorverse
stuff, where they like go, but I have a mustache, and they're just like evil as shit, or like the one where it was like the Mirror Universe, Deep Space Nine, where
best.
Nana Visitor's like, I'm horny as hell, I'm gonna have sex with every person because that's what I do, and like I'm also a dominatrix and a conqueror, and it was just this. So stupid. Dane DeHaan.
There it is.
Thank
I knew
you,
it was Dane
Rach.
something.
And Rach agrees. She says, I see it now.
Yeah, Kira's character is wild in the Mirrorverse.
So weird. She's like, come into my bedroom so I'm sex on you real hard and then throw you in the dungeons. It's like so stupid. Vince says, I had to clip the Goosebumps clip. I forgot where it started. When I was a kid, I was into hardcore horror. LOL. Thank you.
Did I literally say that?
I was
hardcore horror.
Hardcore horror, dude.
Horror, bro.
My mom read me Goosebumps. It's the best.
Scary tales to tell in the dark, man.
Yeah, it's something. Anyway, any other news that you had on your pieces of paper?
Just some new trailers that came out. There was the trailer for Oppenheimer released.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming out in July. That looks pretty good.
It's a bomb.
Has old Cillian Murphy in it, and it's directed by that dude everyone likes, Christopher Nolan. So there's going to be a lot of bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, Christopher Nolan's so great. And I go, tell me more about Tenet. And they're like, oh, well, never mind. Not that one.
Yeah, well, and people are starting to realize that some of his Batman movies are turd trash.
Mm-hmm.
Begins is sick, though. Batman Begins is so good.
It's pretty tight.
And then there was the trailer for 65. Did you see that?
I did not.
With Adam Driver, and he's fighting dinosaurs with guns.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they travel, and they're traveling into the future, but they accidentally go into the past, and now it's just him and some girl, because there's only one survivor, and it's very much like that Will Smith and Jaden Smith movie, After Earth.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It's a lot like After Earth, but instead of like everything being evolved to kill humans, it's just dinosaurs, and they're ready to do it already anyhow. So
because they know we already like dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're supposed to be going to the future or something. They go to the past. He has however X number of passengers.
Land of the lost.
Yeah, but only one of them's alive, and it's some helpless girl. So him and his future gun are ready, and it shows him just like pumping bullets into the face of a T-Rex and it not caring. And he gets dragged off by a raptor and stuff, or
I like how dinosaurs
Deinonychus.
in dinosaur movies always seem to be way more bulletproof than I'm pretty sure they'd be in real life. Furious Apologies asking about the David Hasselhoff movie. That was Kung Fury, I believe.
Oh, yeah, Kung Fury rules.
And I think they were supposed to make a sequel.
Hasselhoff wasn't in the movie, but he did Soul Survivor, the song, which is an excellent song. It's such a good song, and the music video for it is all Kung Fury. It rules.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting. It was like internet at that moment, the movie, and yeah,
Norwegian internet.
Yeah, everybody, it's like funny. There's things that are considered quote unquote wacky that go through phases of the pop culture zeitgeist, like back when everything was bacon flavored, and that was like a whole wacky thing, and then pickles were like a whole wacky thing, and then ninjas were like a big thing, and then pirates usually come and go, and then robot ninja pirates come and go.
Ninjas have never not been a big thing.
Yeah, but they like come in and was like, oh, what if it's like a ninja dinosaur that eats pizza? Wacky. And then they're like, yeah, remember 4 years ago, and that was also wacky, and then like 6 years ago before that, when the one was wacky, and then remember like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which kind of invented the whole Ninja Pizza thing. And they're like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, you weren't so cool for just thinking about this right now, were you, Chad? And anyway.
I think Ninja Pizza Dinosaurs would be pretty sick.
Ninja Pizza Dinosaurs. What was it? Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Remember that? Where they had like a time traveling Cadillac, and it would go back into the time of the dinosaurs, and it was like a cartoon in the 90s.
I don't know. You know what?
And then remember Denver, the last dinosaur. He's our friend and a whole lot more. And he was like this rock and roll dinosaur with like a cool mohawk, but he wore red sunglasses.
I know what you're
And he was still
talking
like a dinosaur, so he couldn't like talk, but he could shred. And like,
Pretty sure I have a toy of that and a T-shirt somewhere. You know what? In High on Life, the game, the Justin Roiland game, you can watch a movie in its entirety, some T-Rex movie starring Denise Richards and Paul Walker. You can sit on the couch and watch that movie broadcast in its entirety.
well, see, and Justin Roiland is kind of one of those genius dudes that capitalizes on that, like, things that normal Joes would have never thought of as being wacky. And he's like, oh, Florps, golly, we're on a planet full of tentacle heads. Oh, gosh, geez Louise, this tentacle's got a penis on the tip. What are we going to do? It squirts diamonds. And, like, you know, and they're like, shoot it. And
that's the game. That's literally the game, yeah.
You know, it's like, who would have ever thought of, like, penis tip tentacle diamond squeezings? And it's like, well, you know, it's just Mad Libs with funny words. And Justin Roiland turned that into a big, huge industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have recorded all the dumbass things that I've said that's weird noises and gross things. I could have had Rick and Morty money.
Yeah. Just like you just got to juice your squeeze and pooch until some Geebleglops come out. And then you're like, oh, man, geez, gosh. Anyway.
You just got to say it real nervous.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Other than that, it's just Avatar news, man.
It's all Avatar news. This is about the time in the show, the 30-minute mark, where we tell you what's coming out in theaters this weekend, because it is Christmas weekend. There's new movies coming up. Vince coming in on Twitch with the comment telling us what Cadillacs and Dinosaur was. Yeah, the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is
10
awesome.
10 out of 10.
That's a really good Super Nintendo game, too. But this weekend, Christmas weekend, new movie. There's only one really kind of getting into the theaters, although I was talking to one of our local theater managers, because, you know, you go to movies as often as I do, you kind of get to know the staff, and he was kind of frustrated.
You were complaining about something.
No, I wasn't. He was talking about how Puss in Boots is only going to be like in one screen at one time because it's not Disney. You walked up right when we were talking about it.
And you were being a total Karen. Can I have the manager, please?
No, that was my homie. He came over to talk to me. Yeah. And I would never say that. I would be like, fix the curtaining. Your left channel sub is out in theater 4.
Could just do like me. Fix the masking.
And then double slam the doors on the way out. No, but I was talking to him, and he was just like, yeah, because Puss in Boots is not Disney. It's DreamWorks. And so right now the theater, like Christmas weekend, is pretty much dominated by Disney movies or Buena Vista Home Entertainment movies, or whatever you want to call it, the parent company that is Disney. And, you know, Puss in Boots is not really getting footholds in the theaters because everybody has to have screen placement for Avatar. Everybody's got to have screen placement for the last remaining couple of weeks of, you know, Black Panther and, you know, all this other stuff. And they'll probably stick Top Gun back in the theaters for another week just to
actually still in the theaters. One of our local theaters still has it as one of their prime showings.
It's ridiculous, man.
Oh, that was in the news too. Tom Cruise. They're still filming Mission Impossible. Can you finish the filming and just give me my movie?
That's what I wanted to see for Christmas.
Yeah, but instead he's still filming it. He released some video where he jumps out of a plane and skydives and tells everyone thanks for watching movies, including Top Gun, and he's still filming Mission Impossible. And I just want my movie. I really like the Mission Impossible movies.
Hey, they're good. It's a guilty pleasure. As far as action capers go, Mission Impossible, the whole franchise is not bad, and I feel really gross saying that.
Well, yeah, and if you don't like them, I didn't either. And then one day I was like, you know what, I'll do it. And
It's like saying you don't like National Treasure. Like, from a distance, that movie looks like a pile of turds. You're like, why would I enjoy that movie? That looks like a pandering crap show with Nicolas Cage, who's probably going to be terrible. And you sit down and you're like, holy crap, this is one of the greatest adventure movies ever
Plus,
made.
you got Sean Bean and Ed Harris as your bad guys.
Yeah,
I mean, they're so good.
It's so good. But Mission Impossible is that same way. You're like, oh, it's just Tom Cruise and macho crap, blah blah blah. You sit down, you put in Mission Impossible 1, and then 8 movies later, you're like, where's my next one?
Yeah,
like I need another one.
Man, that's what I did to get into it, because Mission Impossible 1. It's not the
I liked the John Woo one.
The second one?
The second one. I liked it
with all the stoppies and the hair and the wind.
The doves. Yeah. Double pistol and doves, man. That's a John Woo signature move.
Yeah.
Invented by Chow Yun-fat in The Killer. And Hard Boiled, if you go back and you want to dig into your HK action history of what made movies the way they are, you go watch those 2 early John Woo Hong Kong action films, and you will go, oh my God, everything makes sense.
If you can get through Mission Impossible 1 and 2, 3 and the rest of them are not that different from each other, really. But 1 and 2 are wild movies.
Yeah,
they're good though. They're so much fun.
Face off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fierce Apology says, wow, can't believe I will have to now watch Nick Cage without sideburns and National Treasure. Rich Bo asks, is Bo's Bites a real thing? I mean, yes and no. It's one of those things where we get started talking about movie theater food or snacks or something in general. Or like when we were talking in the early opening of the show, we're talking about Arby's and Chicken Sandwich Wars. Get me started on food. Like, well, long story short, I always wanted to go to culinary school, and eventually, like, I found my way into the hospitality industry. I own a cocktail bar now, and I do love flavors. I love cooking. I love blah blah blah, and I get super passionate about it. And yes, I get super passionate about movie snacks.
Sure, he does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. That's what's coming out in theaters. Puss in Boots. There's something.
It's such a big cast too.
It's good. A sexy cast.
Yeah, it's Antonio Banderas and Selma Hayek and Florence Pugh and Harvey Keitel.
Like, they're just. I don't know if the producers think it's as funny as I do. Just hearing Antonio Banderas go, puss. It's just so weird, because and like quasi-sexual and. Antonio Banderas is puss. So, he always does the inhale. You know? Somebody needs to, I think I've said this on the show before. Someone make a supercut of all the Antonio Banderas moments where he stops and goes, and then says something like, too sexy.
That's a lot of movies.
They're like, what's in the guitar case? A guitar. You know? And it's just like always that. Logan Van Winkle on Facebook asks, how many Malort swigs have I missed?
Enough to get him going.
Several. God, I love Antonio Banderas. Antonio Banderas. And then he was like Armand in Interview with the Vampire, and he's just like Louis. It's like it's in every movie.
Is it in 13th Warrior? I don't think he ever does it in 13th
Warrior. Vikings.
Okay.
They ask you where he was from, and he was like, Turkey. It's like, no, you're not from Turkey. You're totally from Spain. Anyway, Vince says, thinking I can make Bo take 55 sips with my points. That's why there is a 10-minute threshold for the Bo's Sip Redeem thing on our channel points on Twitch, because I ain't trying to get total turnt. Anyway, let's see. Okay, well, that's what's coming out in theaters this week. I'm gonna have to see Avatar by the time the next show goes around. Babylon will be out, in some theaters. That's a movie that's also gonna be out in theaters.
Do we want to talk about the Avatar money now?
I mean, we might as well.
Okay,
let's cover it now, because we all know what's number one at the box office. It's not like that's a surprise.
So, Avatar raked in an estimated $134 million in the United States. Yeah.
Which is less than the 150 that they thought it was going to pull.
Right. And it brought in about 301 internationally when I last checked it. That includes $17 million it made in the U.S. on its Thursday preview showings. Which meant it did make more than it made on the first one. The first one had $26.7 million on its opening day.
Only 26 million?
Yeah.
And then this one's like, if it doesn't make 150, it sucks.
Well, I mean, this was back when like that was big money for a movie, right? But what the thing is that it has tied the Batman for like the fourth top opening of the year. And Doctor Strange 2 remains the highest grossing film of 22 on its opening day. It opened
What was it?
87.4 million on its opening
day.
Mm-hmm.
And what was Avatar's opening day? Do we know?
Or Doctor Strange made 187
on its opening day.
Opening day.
Dang, dude.
But one thing that keeps them hopeful about Avatar here is that it has a 20% pre-purchase ticket rate for after the weekend. So 20% of all the pre-purchase tickets were for today and throughout the week. Hey,
K-Doge.
Thank you.
Thank you for subscribing.
So that's higher than what the normal Marvel is. Most Marvel ticket pre-sales are only 5% outside of the weekend. So they have hopes that it'll still make big dollars. And according to Deadline, which talks about movies a lot, they said that Mondays during the holiday are typically the same as most other Saturdays on average.
That's true.
So Avatar might be raking in a lot of money right now.
Oh, yes. And, I mean, you've got the Christmas break. Everybody's going to be bored. I think this next weekend's going to be even more huge for it.
Go ahead. It has over a 90% positive on the exit polls. There's about 91%
people going, it was cool, man. Mm-hmm. Remember that part where the blue guy got on flew the creature? Man, golly. That was so cool. Yeah. Remember when the guy with the gun like shot at that other guy with a gun, and then and the tree was alive, dude. And man, and there was all this water, and them fish were like, it was like so real I could touch it, man. I had my 3D goggles on, and it was like coming out of the screen at me, dude.
Yeah. Now a ton of the movie did get brought in through large format, IMAX, and 3D.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And which means premium ticket prices.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel on Twitch was asking about Malort. It says, didn't know what Malort was. Googled it and found this review. Pure, unbridled hatred, like Skittles drenched in gasoline, stuffed into a sock. Then someone beat you to death with that sock, like how getting dumped in high school feels. And maybe that's my crusty, dark, black soul is why I love it so much.
It's nasty. That's unnecessary.
Is it not? You want some?
No, not you had your mouth on it, bro.
Like you would have had any anyway. You big chicken. And Vince says the first one came out in a time when movies could still run for a while. Now they only get a few weeks. Shawshank was in the theater for a year. Yeah, and that's something that we talk about on the show. It's like, you know, if you don't get it off that first weekend, then it's considered a failure. And I think that's an inherent problem with the movie theater model as a money-making economy is we just don't give these movies a chance. And so that's why we're only getting these big giant blockbuster insane movies every week, because everyone's trying to just only be at the top, not make like a movie that's just, I don't know, good. It has to be a movie that just tops the box office and takes all of our money. Otherwise, I mean, it's gonna Indiana Jones 5, Marvel. It's like, you know, the stakes are just always as high as they can go. So we're losing out on all these like cool little movies that end up, most of the greatest movies have a lot of the memorabilia that are behind us now are not movies that opened up and shattered box offices. They were movies that people saw and were like, damn, that was a really good movie. Like a John Wick, where people were like, damn, that was a really good movie. And now it's turned into a whole thing.
Talking about blockbusters, there was an article I didn't get a chance to read, but it was entitled and had a little synopsis of Spielberg says he regrets what Jaws did to shark populations because it made people more scared of sharks and than they were already, and so people took it out on them because of just unbridled fear that they had for animals that they normally would have no interaction with.
Or like Dalmatians with 101 Dalmatians. Where like,
no one was going and making coats after that. And if they were, that's
Well, no, they were adopting Dalmatians, and then they'd end up in the pound because they're not really great dogs unless you have, a lot of firm, attention to give these dogs. Vince, Vince on Twitch said something that I think really is a good way of putting this. He said, "We are in the what's next and not the what's good headspace," and I think that you're right, and this is something that we've talked about before. It's like, how just here on the show, we're like, oh, a new flavor of Oreo, let's try it. I mean, it's the marketeering of our consumer behavior. It's more of that what's next. Like we tried this, we need more, and they're trying to sell us all these more instead of giving us something that's really great that we keep going back to. It's really changed, but again, it's something that I say all the time that this is not a sustainable model. Like there's a point where more there can't be. It will eventually burst, and we're almost at a point, which we've talked about on the show, where if a movie doesn't make $1 billion, it's considered a failure. Even though, like, how insane is it that we live in a time where a movie that costs like $100 million to make makes $170 million, and it profits like, say, $25 million when you take out of distribution costs and all. So $25 million of profit, money that you didn't have before you started, and they're going, no, that's a failure, dude. We're never doing that again. Not even worth it. Like, that's insane when you think about the early days of filmmaking and some of these scrappy, classics like Gremlins, like, I'm just looking at the background here, like the first Indiana Jones or the Goonies, or, and they're like, made a movie and it made a profit, and they're like, hey, sick, that was awesome. And look what we did. We succeeded. And it just is not like that anymore. And it's sad. But, yeah. Jake.
Sad.
You stopped listening like 5 minutes ago.
No, I did. I did not. No. I'm here. I'm present. I'm letting you do your thing. Movies.
Yeah, movies. But Christmas. Let's talk. Oh, we said we were going to talk about Christmas movies, and we haven't.
Movies.
Since we got the comments open, we haven't really seen any movies this week. What are your favorite Christmas movies? Like, ours. We love, Jake loves Hook. I love Die Hard and Gremlins, and The Ref, and those are like. What?
That's a Christmas movie.
Have you never seen The Ref?
I feel like I have.
Yeah, it's Dennis Leary, and he's like a Home Alone style sticky bandit, and he's breaking into this home, and there's this couple that's there, and they hate each other, and he kind of takes them hostage while he's stealing, but they're like arguing so much, and it just becomes like this big chaotic thing, and he's kind of like this uncomfortable marriage counselor, and it's all around Christmas, and I want to say, like, I guess I'm not supposed to like that movie anymore because it has what's his name in it,
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, so I guess that Christmas movie's canceled. But what are some of you guys' favorite Christmas movies? Like, hit us up in the comments here.
I like Lethal Weapon.
That's Shane Black. So Shane Black, he was the writer for the Lethal Weapon series, among a lot of other really good movies. But he loves Christmas, and so many of his movies take place around Christmas. And Lethal Weapon is a great Christmas movie. It takes place around Christmas. There are Christmas scenes.
It's about learning to deal with the differences in people and learn to accept them for who they are, and forming a partnership and bond through that, and sharing a tall Coors in your fishing boat with someone on Christmas.
That's right.
That's what it's about. It's about
getting too old for this shit.
Friendship and overcoming differences and seeing people for who they are on the inside, even if they're a grungy, racist, half Australian type character, man. Vince says it's cliche, but he really likes It's a Wonderful Life. It's a great movie, man. Jimmy Stewart is is one of the top actors of all time.
Yeah, nothing puts you in the good Christmas spirit than a movie about suicide. That's one of those things.
Speaking of, Furious Apology says Scrooged with old Bobcat Goldthwait, he's going to be in Northwest Arkansas
now.
Now?
I think he was.
Am I missing
this past weekend. I think you just missed it. Scrooge. We actually played Scrooge all last week on we have a CRT console television that we've restored, and it's going on the Pinpoint TV. We played Scrooged. It was a great one. Mark Landry said Rare Exports is a favorite Christmas movie. Finished Krampus Monster. Rare Exports is really, really, really good. It's a good kind of Christmas horror. Black Christmas is a great Christmas horror if you're into Christmas horror. If you've never seen it, it's really great. And girls4.xyz says like hot photo my sister heart emoji. I'm not familiar with that Christmas movie, but it sounds sexy.
Rach Bo says that it's a Wonderful Life is a classic and perfect. It is a pretty perfect movie. It's really good.
Violent Night was a surprisingly good addition. Which just came out. It's in theaters right now. A lot of fun. Home Alone vibes. Big fun Home Alone vibes. Not so much on Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. What
do you mean, bro? The turtle doves and the
it's
toy
good.
shop?
It's not my favorite. I love the first one. And it does have Tim Curry, which is great. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Can I give y'all a hot take for a second? Christmas movies I don't like. Elf.
I don't like Elf either.
I don't like Elf. And everybody's like, oh, it's such a great Christmas movie. Oh, my gosh, you should do an Elf booth at Pinpoint. Oh, Will Ferrell, he's such a funny guy.
I like Ed Asner as Santa Claus.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
He's Santa.
Yeah.
Elf. I like that.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about Elf that I don't. So, Rach Bo on Twitch says, have y'all ever seen the new Christmas movie with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell?
I haven't. It was like an Apple TV
it was an Apple
thing.
TV. That's why I haven't seen it.
I don't have Apple TV, and I didn't see it when it was in theaters for like every bit of 3 days. It looks like a remake of Scrooged.
It does.
Basically. So
I also like Will Ferrell, man. His brand of comedy, like I don't know.
Really? Step Brothers is like one of my favorite movies.
See, I'm just like, okay, I like the Mi Familia or whatever, the one that he was all in Spanish. That was pretty hysterical. I really enjoyed that one. And of course, his character in Eastbound and Down is hysterical. But
Ashley Schaefer. He's the
down to my plums.
Yeah, he's just a disgusting Ric Flair.
Yes, he is. And I don't know. I'm just not a huge Will Ferrell guy. Vince says we didn't go through Thanksgiving movies because all we need to do is say planes, trains, and automobiles. Yeah, and Thanksgilling. Those are both great.
This one with the turkey, right?
Yeah, and there's like 3 or 4 of those now. But how about here's another question. Instead of favorite Christmas movies, how about just like I said with Elf, hit us in the comments with some of your movies that you don't really like for Christmas that everybody else does. Because that's one of those the kind of hot topics. My mother, she would never watch Christmas Story. She was like, I just don't. That kid looks so annoying. I just don't like the way his face looks.
I'm so burnt out on Christmas Story. I've been burnt out on Christmas Story for.
But she loves it now.
2 decades.
She'd never watched it, but Vince. I think that was targeted content.
I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas either, and that's one of those things you can't say out loud.
I think.
You know what I do like though? Edward Scissorhands. That's a.
I'm going to stay with Vince's comment here. He says Nightmare Before Christmas and Hook, which Hook is Jake's favorite Christmas movie.
My favorite Christmas
and Nightmare
movie.
Before Christmas is one of mine.
Really? I don't like it.
I do. And because
is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
Why do you think I like it so much? Because it is a Christmas movie. And if it wasn't a musical, I would like it even better. But, Henry Selick, dude, I'm still mad that Tim Burton gets all the credit for it. Henry Selick was a genius. That movie, I have a whole Nightmare Before Christmas area at Pinpoint for the holidays. And I think that if it wasn't a musical, it would be a lot more watchable. Rachel says, big fan of the Grinch. I love the animated Grinch.
I was surprised a lot of people hadn't said the classics, Frosty and Rudolph and Grinch and all that.
Those are all good, but I'm talking about ones that people that you don't like, that everybody else likes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't believe that Vince doesn't. What's to not like about Hook? It's amazing.
I mean, it is really good. Ruthie, A Year Without Santa Claus. Is that the Rankin and Bass one?
You know what is a pretty decent movie, but it's hard to sit through?
What's that?
The one about the reindeer with Sam Elliott. What's it called?
I don't remember.
It's one of the reindeer's names.
Blitzen?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. That one.
Fierce Apology says Mystery Science Theater 3000 Santa Claus. Oh, the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Yeah, that's a pretty fun one. Let's see. K Doge on Twitch says sisters definitely got me with the tongue on the frozen pole. Older sisters are the worst. Logan over on Facebook saying Bangarang in celebration of Hook.
Dude, Hook is the best Christmas movie because it's about family.
Hook is a great one.
And it has Maggie Smith. And it has
Of course Velvet Santa coming in going, did y'all mention Ernest Saves Christmas?
We didn't. That's only because it pales in comparison to Ernest Scared Stupid.
This is true. Because
Ernest Scared
Halloween
Stupid's the best
always
one.
wins.
Yeah.
In a war between Christmas and Halloween, Halloween will always win. Jake's mom coming in hot on Facebook saying, One Magic Christmas is one of my favorites. It has Mary Steenburgen in it. And she lives in Arkansas.
Prancer.
Does
she still live here? She's from here.
I think she still does live here, or has a house still here. Because she's still married to Ted Danson, I believe, and they maybe still vacation here. I've met her; she's really nice. Trading Places is considered a Christmas movie, because it has that great Dan Aykroyd scene.
Where he's drunk Santa.
Drunk Santa, he sticks the salmon in the beard, and he's like, yeah. No, that one's really great. Another movie that I think a lot of people really love that I just can't ever watch the whole thing is Miracle on 34th Street.
Which one?
Any of them.
Really?
I don't know. Not a fan.
I like
they just
the
kind
original.
of bore me, Yeah,
but it's like proof of Santa. Oh, Batman Returns. Is that one that you like, or is that one that you're saying you don't like?
Oh, if it's Velvet Santa on Twitch, then he loves Batman Returns.
Batman Returns is good.
Night Ellershley says, can't help but love White Christmas and Love Actually. Probably basic, but I like them. I mean, Love Actually, pretty classic Christmas romantic comedy. Everybody loves Love Actually. That's the famous sign scene, I believe, that everybody's copied. Harold and Kumar Saves Christmas.
I watched that in 3D
that
at the movie theater.
I actually enjoyed that. The stop motion, the Rankin Bass sort of tribute scene, I thought was just great.
Did you watch it in the theater?
Of course.
Did you watch it in 3D?
Of course.
Yeah, I think it was only 3D, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was so good. Velvet Santa says he likes the Tales from the Crypt episode where the deranged killer is dressed like Santa. I have that on DVD. And then the Crypt Keeper is just like, season's beatings, and he comes out and he has a bunch of like Christmas jokes. I got my Crypt Keeper up here always representing I do love me some Tales from the Crypt. Vince says that 3D and Jackass 3D were amazing. Jackass 3D was great. Some 3D movies are a lot of fun when they lean into it.
Why have we not mentioned?
Oh, Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we've got Turbo Man sitting back here. Jingle All the Way is another really good Christmas movie. It's the only Arnold Christmas movie, isn't it? I don't think he's in any other Christmassy movies. None are popping out. I think that's it. I mean, True Lies is not a Christmas movie.
What time of year does the movie where he's like the dude who fights demons in hell and all that take place?
End of Days?
Yeah, when does End of Days take place?
Christmas.
Oh,
not just because it's the birth of Christ.
How have you not said Long Kiss Goodnight?
Oh my God, that is a holiday film. Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson. That is a great action movie centered around Christmas. Long Kiss Goodnight. I'm gonna have to go watch that. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. That's a great movie.
Since you talked about it last Christmas, probably.
I remember when that movie first came out, and I didn't see it in theaters, but I was working at a video store at the time, and it came out on video, and the cover was just like this giant gun between Gina Davis's face and Samuel L. Jackson's face. And I was like, that looks sick. And it indeed was sick. That's a good movie. Velvet Santa says Arnold was Mr. Freeze, but it doesn't count. No, it does not count. Just because it's snow doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie.
I have a hard time thinking of ones that I just don't like. Because I don't like Elf, and I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas. But I do like most of them. The Santa Claus is good.
The subsequent sequels of the Santa Claus, I am not a fan of.
Not so good. Even though they brought Martin Short in to be Jack Frost.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. And did you see the skit that on SNL that Martin Short did recently? Him and Steve Martin hosted SNL. And, you know, they're hysterical together. Their stand-up or their live stage show is
I've gone to
great.
it live. It's amazing.
And that show, Only Murders in the Building, is just fantastic.
Really? I couldn't get through more than a couple episodes.
It's you got to get through a couple of them.
I got to where they went to Sting's apartment.
Oh, and it only gets better from there.
Oh.
Like, it's pretty good. But Martin Short's character in that. Anyway, so they host SNL, and they did a Charles Dickens Christmas where Martin Short is, of course, Ebenezer Scrooge, and he wakes up on Christmas morning, and he's just, like, so excited. And he you know, the little orphan boy is like, oh, here, take this gold coin. Go get the biggest turkey you can buy. And he throws the coin down, and it, like, stabs the little orphan boy in the eye. And he's like, oh, what have you done? You've blinded me, sir. And he's just like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Well, here's another gold coin and run to the doctor. And he, like, tosses it gently down, and it ricochets and gets him in the other eye. And anyway, he just keeps killing all of these people with gold coins, and it's so gory and ridiculous. And then Steve Martin is the ghost of Christmas Present, and he comes up and he's like, how are things? Whoa, shit, you know. And he's like, maybe I can help. And then more gold coins and more people die. It was so funny. And you could check that up on YouTube. It's
Yeah, I saw like the science skit that they did with the two of them.
It was pretty good.
I'll have to watch more of it. I really like that.
Melody Mayhem said the Muppet Christmas Carol could
that's
do without it.
That's a good movie.
That's a hot take.
If we're getting rid of Disney property Christmas movies, like there is a Mickey Mouse version of like Prince and Pauper that takes place at Christmas.
I thought you were about to say the Mickey Mouse version of Scrooged, like Ebenezer Scrooge, because I was about to flip this fucking table.
I'm pretty sure they do the Prince and the Pauper at
like,
Christmas time.
Little Mickey kid is like they're slicing the bean, and like, you know, they're so poor, and like what's his name, Cratchit, and then Scrooge McDuck,
Muppet everything.
Goofy comes in, he's like, oh, Scrooge better not be a dick, and like, you know,
Muppet everything pre-2000s is pretty good.
Ebenezer, don't be an asshole. And yeah, it's a classic. And then, oh, dude. And then the other little Christmas.
The Ghost of Christmas Present in the Muppets movie is just too good. I don't see how you can write that off.
I would say in the terms of Muppets, if you got Muppet Treasure Island and Muppet Christmas Carol, I would take Treasure Island over Christmas Carol, but they're both pretty good.
I don't like the Jim Carrey animated Christmas Carol.
I will agree.
And it took a long time for live action Grinch to grow on me.
Yeah, I'm still in that in-between
I watched
phase.
it in the movie theater, and I was like, I don't like this. This is not the Grinch.
Certain brands of Jim Carrey that I'm not a big fan of. Mark Landry says he's decided that Dumb and Dumber is a Christmas movie. It's set in winter, and a main character is named Lloyd Christmas. Well, would that make that James Bond movie where he like bangs that girl named Christmas, and then at the very end of the movie he goes, I guess Christmas does come more than once a year, and it's just like, and you're just like, what the hell did I just watch? Freaking James Bond. The Beavis and Butthead Christmas special is pretty funny, says Velvet Santa on Twitch. Yeah, I remember that part. Here lies Beavis. He never scored. Rach Bo says that they love, with lots of ease, the live action Grinch.
It took a while for it to grow on me. Like, at first, I really did not like it, but I've gotten to where I'm pretty okay with it.
Radio Silk says Treasure Island is my shit. Muppet Treasure Island is actually pretty good. Man, I'm going back and I'm thinking about the Disney anime. That's one of my favorites. The Disney anime with like Chip and Dale and the tree, and then they're just like causing a complete ruckus with Mickey's tree, and like Pluto's over there like, hey dummy, we got rodents in our tree, and he's like, oh, shut the fuck up, dog. Well, you're stupid. Go sit in the kennel. And like, and he's like, no, no! And Pluto's trying to be a good boy, and then like Chip and Dale, these assholes are unscrewing light bulbs and throwing them at the dog, and then like breaking ornaments, and then Mickey like paddles his dog. He's like, "You're being a bad dog," and then you feel so bad for Pluto, but then Mickey discovers the chipmunks, and they like pretend they're little nutcrackers and stuff, and it's so cute. And then at the end, they all become friends and learn the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, except for Pluto's been beaten for no reason.
Yeah, well, he learned to speak like Goofy did, you dumb dog. Why is Pluto the only animal in the Disney universe that can't talk? It's his fault. Gorge, says Rachbo. Let's see. Anyway, dude, we have to do the box office.
We need to do
we're
the
just
box
sitting
office.
here.
That's it for Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's all for Christmas movies. So we got to do the box office report. It's the last thing we do in the show before we wrap it up. We give you the top 10 movies in America from number 10 all the way to number 1. We just do domestic box office totals for a reason, because that is what all the producers and studios look at to justify whether or not they want to make a green light. That's why everybody's saying like Avatar, even though it made $447 million in the international market this past weekend, they're going, well, it didn't make 307 million. Pardon me. Thanks for the cheer, Furious Prodigy. 5,000 cheers.
Hey,
heck
nice.
yeah! Thank you. That's a big one. But so, despite the fact that Avatar made almost $500 million this weekend, they're like going, it didn't do 150 million in America, so it must not be good. So anyway, we're going to give it, another 300 from Ragebo. Thank you for the cheer.
Nice.
Thanks. It's
Yeah.
just Christmas. It's the spirit of Christmas.
Merry Chrissy. Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to give it over to Jake. Number 10, what'd it do?
Here we go. Number 10 in its third week for a Fathom event, which is a lot. I Heard the Bells bringing in $310,000 this past weekend. Actually, $12 shy of $311, bringing its domestic total up to $4.9 million. Feel like that's quite a bit and quite a long time for a Fathom event. In its 9th week of release, Black Adam coming in at number 9 brought in $445,000. Its domestic total sits at only $167.6 million. One of the reasons why they are revamping the DC universe and handing the reins to James Gunn. So
it's going to be wacky and mixtapey.
Yeah, more mixtape, the movie. And then in its release, It's a Wonderful Life 75th anniversary out right now.
Another Fathom event.
Had a weekend date, brought in $734,000. Not bad for a movie that's been out for forever.
It's 75 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in almost 1,000 theaters.
Not bad.
Dude, it's crazy the past couple of weeks how many Fathom events have been in the top 10.
It's
Dude,
good.
Vince coming in with a big cheer. Just boom, 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 boom. Up in those cheers. Hyping that train. Thank you. Twitch is fun.
Dude, big preach. In its 6th week of release, coming in at number 7, holding that number 7 spot, The Fabelmans brought in $743,000. Its grand domestic total is $8.6 million, still under 1,000 theaters. If you want to see Spielberg talking about Spielberg being Spielberg, that's the movie. Then number 6 in its 4th week, Devotion, $780,000 brought in this weekend, bringing its domestic total up to $18 million. More cheers, sick.
They got we just set an all-time record of hype train cheers.
Oh, nice.
Heck yeah. Thank you guys. We're at level 4, 61%. We're almost to level 5.
Is that the highest we've been? Level 4?
I know, isn't that sad?
I don't know.
Oh, Night Odyssey with more cheers, 100 more cheers.
I don't know what that is.
64%. I don't know. I've got like a progress bar, and it has like things bopping around and like little cones with confetti.
Mm-hmm.
Like
hype train at the end of the show. Do it big. In the 5th spot, The Menu in its 5th week out.
More cheers.
I'm about getting these cheers. That's so much fun. 1.6 million brought in by The Menu. Its grand total at 32 million. Not bad for a movie that not too many people probably heard about.
It's still in theaters. Go see this movie. It's so good.
And then coming in at number 4 in its 4th week out from Disney, Strange World.
Ragebo gifted a sub.
Dang, we're getting
91%. We're almost to level 5.
Dude, you're so hyped about the hype train, bro.
Dude, well, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, Strange World brought in 2.2 million. Its total is at 33.7. Not anything what Disney wanted it to be, but you got to advertise to get people to go to things. Look at Devotion. And then number 3 in its third week out, Violent Night, that we reviewed on the show. 1,500 orgies.
Hit level 5. Noises.
Going to the Doom voice.
Yeah.
Or like the Halo Arena voice.
Level 5. We did it. We made it together. I don't think we'll make it to number 6. I don't think we can make it to level 6. But we did level 4 complete. And like, geez, you guys, you can't even see the shit we got. But we're already at 50% to level 6. This is escalating farther than I'd ever possibly imagined. We're
doing it.
This is crazy.
You're doing it, Peter.
We're flying. We're making fake food. 53%. No, I'm just more cheer.
Dang, more.
Look at this. Can you even? They like. We're overtime. We're into overtime. This is the World Cup of the drive-in speaker box right now. We're into overtime, and just more points, more bits. This is a Christmas miracle.
I like it. It's good.
If we make it to level 6, I don't even know what's gonna happen.
You're gonna blow your top, bro.
I'm gonna blow something. Wait a minute. One very special viewer of the drive-in speaker box.
Some subscriber giving it away.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and its 6th week out, 5.3 million more gifted viewers. That's the titties. Black Panther has brought in $418.9 million in its domestic run. And then, of course, coming in number 1, Avatar with its $134 million in the U.S., another $301 overseas. It has $400 some odd million out there. It's nearly $500 million opening weekend. I don't know if it opened earlier outside the U.S. or was it all at once?
I think it was all.
I think it was all at once. So it's brought in plenty of money, but James Cameron said it needs to make $2 billion for them to even start making their money back. So he better start getting money like we are getting these cheers.
Jeez, yeah, I mean we're avataring
we're avataring Avatar.
Cheered another freaking 1,000. We just made it to level 6. Have you ever been to level 6? If we were like in Scientology, we would be one step away from Tom Cruise. We would be there, level 7 Zordoms or whatever the hell they have there. We would be Pandorans, like blue. We are into level 6 territory. This is a new record. This is what what happens? How many levels are there? Is this what it feels like to be a Twitch person? Like
Maybe so.
An important Twitch person? Like, this calls for Malort. is what happens. Actually, Jake, you have some Coke. I have some vanilla vodka that has not touched my mouth because I pour that into Coke exclusively. If you would like to celebrate with me, or actually, we could drink from the cup of Jesus.
That is a carpenter's cup.
the Holy Grail. It's right here. We've got it.
I don't know that I want to drink from that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
As soon as you do, we can't pass the seal.
What if your face melts? Let's see. That dirty sock. Vince says level 6 plus the Mile High Club. Fierce Apology says there isn't a slick doggy takes a drink button.
Well, because I have to drive and I have to work. It's not okay for me to do this.
I also have to do both.
Yeah, but you can take a sip with your
200s.
job.
I can, yeah.
Jeez, how tight did you put this thing on there? More cheers keep rolling in.
Look, there he is. He's getting a celebratory swig of vanilla vodka with his Coca-Cola, or he's gonna put Coca-Cola in there.
Yeah, I mean I could just drink it, I guess. I don't know.
See, I've got a bag of Arby's roast beef sandwiches that I can eat on the drive home. That's right there, exclusive content. 20
sad content. Just
yeah. Welcome to our live. Merry Christmas. I'm drinking Malort with a sack full of roast beef Arby's sandwiches. Drunk of the Arby's is dunk the Arby's in the drink? No.
I'll do it.
You'll dunk a roast beef into a vanilla vodka Coke?
Yeah, pinch me off a piece. I'll do it for Vince. It'll be au jus.
It's okay. All right. Look at this hype train level.
Dude, the
6.
man has given us so many bits. If he wants us to put roast beef into the liquor, we'll do.
Pinch you off a piece of that Arby's.
What's wrong with us?
Well, this is okay.
All right, here it is.
Dunkin'.
The au jus.
God, this is what people do for money. Oh my God, yum. How was that? I mean, it's a thing. Should I dunk it in Malort and see what it looks like? Yeah. Furious Apology says, thanks for all the entertainment over the past year, fellas.
Hey, no problem.
You're welcome.
Thanks for sticking with us and being part of it. Being a true fan of the drive-in speaker box.
I don't, because we don't really get paid for this. This costs me a lot of money to do. And thank you, K Doge. More cheering. We're 30% to level 7. Night Ashley says, yes, thank you. They look forward to Mondays. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, Driving Speaker Box has always been on a Monday. And there's a reason behind that. And that reason is the box office comes out. All the news comes out. And it's a day that, what else are you doing on a Monday? And that was always kind of the idea of like to bring this entertainment to folks. And, the show has changed dramatically a lot over the years to where, I never thought in a million years it'd turn into a Twitch live stream. Never thought I'd be a Twitch streamer, much less like a podcaster. I mean, I remember I uploaded podcasts to iTunes before people knew what podcasts were. And Velvet Sand over on Twitch, he says, I'm really digging the old episodes. Because it was a different show, and I mean, some of those episodes, I think back in the day, Vince, who, one of our longtime listeners, and he's been a Patreon subscriber back when we did that, as a gift, I gave him a link to an archive folder of a bunch of years worth of episodes back before that I can't post online because they feature film scores and, copyright infringement, because I'm not on the radio anymore. But it's been a really long ride. It's fun when I interact with people. Holy shit, did we just make it to 7? Let's see, what is this? We received a level 5. What the hell is even happening? All-time record shattered. We've reached new levels of support. And what 35% on level 6. Oh my God. I don't know what I just did, but I clicked a thing. Wow.
Is that what we got? Was 11,000 bits?
I can do this. Choo choo. With a thing. Look, everybody got one of those things. We got a choo choo emote guy. That's cool. Twitch is neat. Like, for those of you that are listening to this extended episode on Spotify or Google Tunes or iMusic or whatever the hell you do, it's Twitch is a lot of fun. It's really changed the show because before we did this on the radio, we wouldn't be eating an Arby's sandwich. We wouldn't be interacting with guests. We would be kind of going through our motions, talking about all our talking points and doing all that stuff.
Well, when we had Periscope set up on the break, we would then there was exclusive stuff just for Periscope viewers such as Vince, who we would then interact with between segments during the musical breaks and things like that.
Velvet Sen says, imagine how well we'd be doing on OnlyFans.
Not well.
No one wants to see this.
Yeah, unfortunately, neck down, not such attractive dudes.
Yeah, that's why we're always seated. It's just the moneymaker right here. All the time.
Well, I guess I'm neck up. I'm not exactly the most handsome dude either, I guess. But that's why I got a big mustache and long hair to cover it up.
The power of hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twitch has been a really fun experiment for us. Because we don't advertise really, really big online. We don't, this isn't our lives like some of these other streamers. I'm sure we could get more followers. I'm sure we could get ourselves out there a lot more and, sit up here all day and just talk about nothing. But for us, it's like I would rather have less viewers and the viewers that we have be like you guys, that are really engaged and really into what we're doing. And it makes it more personal. Like, I look at some of these Twitch streams and it's just like hundreds of comments flying through there at a time. And there's just like really no way to interact with that, people and not really comment on it. I see a lot of Twitch streamers that just like read the thing and acknowledge it. And they're like, yep, you said this. And they're not able to like explore those ideas or talk about those things.
There's a couple that are really good at it. Like there was a Sea of Thieves streamer that I would follow every time there were drops and things like that. And there were a few times where I would comment and he would see it and talk back. And that's actually kind of cool sometimes when it is a bigger streamer and they're able to see and comment back on things.
Well, now that I've finished this Arby's sandwich and the hype train has ended, it's time for us to go. Jake's got to get to work. I've got things I have to do. I have to make a whole bunch of Birdie Bots every flavored shots tonight.
Gross.
I might take this bottle of Malort. Well, I can't because I've been drinking out of this one. I might go get a fresh bottle of Malort and make some of those. But we've got 1.5 more weeks left of the Christmas theme at Pinpoint. If you guys live here in Northwest Arkansas, you can check that out. And how much for you to take a vomit shot?
Is that one of your Birdie Bots flavors? Do you have vomit and boogers?
No, I've done pickle. I've done coffee. I did a Thanksgiving cranberry sauce and stuffing. I've done Rumple Mints. I've done Malort. I've done Fernet.
Wait, but you don't do any of them as nasty ones, like real Birdie Bots? Like you don't have a bird shit flavor?
Well, because if you think about it, like when a guest comes to our bar and gets the shot, they don't have like a color-coded guide to go, oh, what did I just eat? Oh, it was farts. And there's the thing about like attaching a flavor to your mind and your mouth at the same time, right? You just have to kind of guess. So you get this flavor, and if you don't like it, you're not going to go, oh, it's coffee. I literally had to explain to a guy that it was coffee. And you'd think like coffee is a pretty unmistakable flavor, right? But this guy couldn't figure it out. It was just black, and and it didn't taste like Jell-O that he's normally used to. He's like, oh, God, what is this crap?
Let someone drink Malort, and they're like, what the hell is it? You're like, oh, it's athlete's foot.
We're right. You could just tell them, and they go, oh, okay, got it. But I had to explain to this guy. I was like, well, what did you get? And he's like, oh, I don't even know this shit. And I was like, well, did you smell it? And he's like, oh, and I was like, let me smell it. That's coffee. And he goes, oh, yeah. Oh, it tastes just like coffee. I'm like, yeah, it is, dummy. But without those prompts, because Birdie Bots is brilliant because on the back of the box, it shows you which one's booger and pee and all this kind of stuff. So... yeah.
Imagine how much worse it is in the wizarding world where it's real and it's not just from some extraction machine that friggin' Jelly Belly came up with.
Yeah. No,
someone like magically whisked a dog turd into a jelly bean just for some 10-year-old to like down it.
Oh, I see the activity feed. K Doge. Thank you, Carl, for making me drink one more sip of Malort. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. What?
At least one of the Harry Potters is a Christmas movie because the majority of it takes place during Christmas. And I don't know which one it is, but...
I have a Harry Potter themed Christmas booth at Pinpoint right now.
Probably one of the first two because Christopher Columbus.
Sorcerer's Stone.
First one, Christopher Columbus. There it is.
Vince says day after Christmas show. I was planning on it. I'll be here. Boxing Day.
Yeah, why not?
Boxing Day. Garbage Day. Yeah, how come no one mentioned Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Is it really a Christmas movie, though?
Silent Night, Deadly Night?
How much of it takes place during Christmas?
All of it. He's dressed as Santa, and he goes and kills his neighbor.
When he shoots the dude in the middle of the day, that's not on Christmas.
Garbage Day.
It's like at the end of the movie when he's Santa coming into the house and everything.
Yeah, that movie's so weird.
It's weird. It's fun.
It's Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, isn't it? The garbage day scene.
Yes.
I don't think it's part 1.
No. And he shoots the dude in the beetle, and it like flips
And it flips
blows
over.
up.
It's like some John Matrix shit from Commando.
And he's like this too.
It's so
Oh
good.
man. Okay, so join the Discord. Talk to us in the Discord. You'll learn fun things, like something that I learned as much as I know about TV and movie and film and all the things, entertainment. What I learned the other day by seeing a local Comic-Con poster for something coming up in a few weeks in January.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's stacked.
The dude from Road Warrior is the same guy that played Bennett from Commando.
Carl Weathers.
No, what? No, what? No. Bennett, like let off some steam, Bennett.
That's Carl Weathers.
It's not Carl Weathers.
I'm pretty sure.
He's a Australian guy.
No. We got you pushing too many pencils, eh, Bennett? This guy right here with do the handshake.
No, dude, his name's
That's
not
Bennett.
His name's not Bennett.
Carl
Yeah, Vernon Wells.
Weathers, Predator. He was Dylan.
Yeah.
Who was Bennett? Or did he say Dylan?
Discord invite invalid for Rachbo. Someone link the Discord again. Vince, you're perfect. You're so good at that.
Too many pencils. This is Predator in the woods. I'm right here. Come get me.
All right, well, there it is. There's a Discord. We got to go.
We got to go. We got to shut it down. We got to get to the chopper. We have to go.
There it is. Hey,
I do a good Arnold.
you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone again for the
Pinpoint
bits.
is not open
Oh,
on Mondays.
Speaking of Arnold, one movie we did watch. We did watch a movie. We forgot.
What did we watch?
We watched Conan
We watched Conan in theaters.
in the theater.
40th anniversary.
It was super good. It was amazing.
Glah. That's when he's wrestling the snake. He's like, Glah.
Yeah, being able to see a movie like that in the theater and hear the music,
Bum, bum, bum,
it really
bum,
brings it to
bum,
life
bum,
and
bum,
makes it
bum,
that much
bum,
more fun.
bum, bum, bum.
And seeing James Earl Jones' eyes in the theater,
I am the wellspring of
Yeah.
which you flow.
it's so good, so good. And then you got to see
Contemplate this
Scrap's
on a tree.
storylines.
And then Mako,
yeah,
I am an evil sorcerer. And then he's like, and they laugh at each other.
yeah,
Fire don't burn there. He goes, why are you crying?
but it does. And then
Conan.
Valeria comes back as a super badass.
Do you want to
friggin-
live forever?
Yeah.
God, we could probably recite that. We could probably recite that movie
Yeah.
from start to finish.
You know what? Fuck you, Jennifer Lawrence. Valeria is a badass, and no one had to sit there and shove it down your throat and tell you, listen, okay, even though Valeria's a girl, she's really tough, okay? No, Valeria was just like badass number one in
She
the Conan
whipped
crew.
Conan and Subutai into shape. Like, she was the leader of that team.
Conan got his dumbass killed, and Valeria fought off the specters trying to take his soul, and she wouldn't let him have him because he suffered on the
She
tree
was
of
like,
woe.
I will
And she's
pay
like,
the price. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The wizard, he said I would pay the price.
Yeah, Valeria's badass.
Yeah, Valeria was the OG. She was just like, I just want jewels. I want to have some sex and some booze and party all the time and steal from these snakes. And they're like, I don't know. And she's like, you want to live forever? Let's get out of here. I'm going to jump off this building. And they're like, oh, Jesus, you're crazy. Like, Valeria was awesome.
Awesome. Night Ashley said that Valeria and Red Sonja were her idols, perfect idols to have.
Dude, Red
Super
Sonja
badasses.
was also awesome.
The extra footage was scrapped storylines with Max von Sydow's
Getting
king
killed.
being assassinated by his own soldiers or people wearing his own soldiers' armor. And it was how Arnold, how Conan and the thief guy, what was his name? Subutai. How they got
Thief
the
and Dodger.
the lizards on a stick that they were eating. But other than that, it was really the Max von Sydow stuff. And behind the scenes, you got to hear the blood packs
Like popping.
explode and stuff. You got to hear like the on-set sound before it was overdubbed and had sounds put over.
Foley art.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad they scrapped that storyline because Max von Sydow's too cool.
And the very last scene was when the dogs actually, when Conan falls into the Atlantean tomb, and then he's like
and he
running
gets
up there,
bit.
and the dogs actually pull him down and
In
bite
real
him,
life,
and he
yeah.
goes, "Oh, God damn it!"
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But anyway, all right, we got to get out of here. This extended edition Drive-In Speedworks Christmas special, whatever the hell you want to call it, we gotta go. Like and subscribe. Download these podcasts wherever it is you download podcasts. Send us some subs over on Twitch or YouTube, or send us stars on Facebook, or whatever it is you do to do the things that it is you do. And we're gonna get out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a Merry Christmas. Make good decisions. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa, Advent, Krampusnacht, like whatever it is you celebrate.
Hanukkah started recently.
Hanukkah is light your candle. Do all that stuff, or don't, like, or just, hail Satan, whatever it is you're into. So, all right, we're out of here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.